In reading 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3, you'll see it up on the big screen. Join me. If the good news we preach is hidden behind a veil, it is hidden only from people who are perishing. Satan, who is the god of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. They don't understand this message about the glory of Christ, who is the exact likeness of God. You see, we don't go around preaching about ourselves. We preach that Jesus Christ is Lord, and we ourselves are your servants for Jesus' sake. For God, who said, "Let there be light in the darkness," has made this light shine in our hearts so we could know the glory of God that is seen in the face of Jesus Christ. Friends, this morning as we get going, there's a lot of things we can focus on, and I wondered if I could just get some quick shots here real quick. Snap some photos here. Yeah, look. Oh, I got to go the other way. See, I don't even know how to do. Who knows what selfies are? Who doesn't know what selfies are? Yeah. Snap some shots here real quick. I'll get one of Aaron there. Good morning. Yeah, nice. There we go. Good. There we go. Nice. Good shots. Good shots. Right here. I'm right here. There you are. Boom. Right there. Yeah. Hi, guys. Good morning. There we go. Snap that. Nice. There we go. Good stuff. How many have taken a selfie in the last week? In the last month? In your lifetime? All right. How many hate selfies? Okay. Yeah. Well, this morning we're going to talk about that a little bit, and I want to welcome you here. If you're here for the very first time, my name is Greg. I'm one of the guys on the team, and we've got a special gift for you in the back, and of course the cupcakes are available in the cafe. But what a joy to be together. You probably can't even see the screen, can you? There you go. That better? That's better. There you go. This morning, as we get into it today, we've worked our way through this passage, and we're glad that the Word can come alive in our lives, and that it can illuminate and do something special for us each and every time we read it. So this morning, if you have your cell phones, you can take them out not to take a selfie, but you can take them out to go to the Bible. We are going to continue to be looking closely at 2 Corinthians right there, and we'll do our best to see who can see this. If you can't see this, then you got to maybe just move. Why don't like the four of you just move to this side if you want to. There you go. Because I think I can move this back a little bit. We're trying new technology today, and that probably messed up the whole camera guy. Sorry about that. All right, as we get going this morning, what a fun time with our young people this week, VBS, reaching our community, and some of you are here, and you came for VBS. Thanks for your participation in that. And Katie, Aaron, Gracie, Anthony, so many of you, Carrie, and others that were a part of that. Thank you for helping us reach this community. Our purpose here is to know, grow, and go. We want to know Jesus personally, we want to grow purposely, and we want to go passionately. And I think since there's so many new people today, I'm just going to give you another 30 seconds. Would you just turn to somebody and just talk to them for a minute, say good morning, tell them how good looking they are, and welcome them today, and change your seats if you need to. All right, as we get going this morning, the first part of this is going to, for those that hate selfies in particular, you're going to be kind of like, for this first part. But it's going to lead to a point that hopefully will help you this summer to be able to adjust your cameras. And I was talking to my dad, who's 87 years old, and we were doing this thing where I was putting the phone up the other day, and I'll show you a picture of us. We were out at the coast, and he's like, what are you doing? When you put your arm up and the camera up, and well, he got the idea, and he learned how to just take it. We take selfies of family, of scenery, of a lot of different things, and I thought I would show. I looked at my phone and it says you can do actually a search on selfies, and I had over 2,000. Unfortunately, that's too many. And not just of me, but of me and like my dad, and then of course we got pictures of Stacy, my wife of 36 years, and we're in all different kinds of places around the world and around the United States. And so actually this one's in Amsterdam, and this one's in Hawaii. This is down there at the coast. This is when she graduated with her master's. So you take selfies for a lot of different things. Let me introduce you to my girls. These are my three daughters, Katie, Becca, and Lindsay. And We take pictures together. Usually it's taking them of the grandkids, but let me introduce you to my sons. These are my boys, John and Dan. Some of you have met them. And then here's my daughter-in-laws. So you see selfies are coming up all over the place. You just, selfie. So this is Kenna in Denver, and this is Emily who lives here in Salem. And then let's get to the real good shots. So this is my first granddaughter, Emily. She lives in Austria. These are some of my grandsons, Gabriel and Jeremiah and little Daniel. So, and then we got some gatewayers. So see, look at there, Max. You made the big screen there. And look at little Sophie, like so cute with her bunny ears. And then we got some of our staff that we take pictures of, and then some of our staff's children. So you could do a lot with a phone or with a camera, and then we got other selfies with some of the gatewayers, there's Corky and the Buffs, and it's so fun to just see different people. Oh, there's our captains there this morning. But I was looking online, and you can actually take selfies. Some people have done this with dangerous animals. Have you seen any of these shots before? So you got the ones in the window like this, or with the bear in the background, some crazy shots. People, I don't recommend doing this, of course. But then I thought, what about if in the Bible times they had iPhones? What if in the Bible they had an opportunity to take selfies? And so here's a couple shots that I found, and thank goodness for AI, I guess. These are mostly AI generated. Let's take a look at this first one. This is Moses. This is a pretty good shot with Jonah. There's Daniel. He looks a little too happy in that lion's den, I gotta admit. This is the plagues, of course, the locusts catching that shot. Then David, with the lion. I don't know how he'd have caught that exactly, but AI catches it pretty good. And then David with Goliath. You see this shot here. And then I don't mean to be sacrilegious at all, because I would contend and submit this idea to you. I don't think Jesus would have ever taken a selfie, but if he did, it'd probably be with his disciples and having a good time, eating some good food. And then even Mary in the moment of loss, you see her taking a selfie. But then look at this guy down here with his phone down here taking a shot. So kind of crazy to think about that. And then Paul and Silas in prison. That's probably how Paul really looked. When you get beat and snake bit and shipwrecked, that's how bug-eyed you start looking. Well, anyways, selfies, let me just give you the history of this real quick. It came back in 1839. Some of you thought maybe this was just invented about 10 years ago. No, in 1839, a guy named Robert Cornelius came up with his first ever still shot of himself, a self-portrait taken by yourself. That's really what a selfie is. And this morning, as we get into our text in 2 Corinthians, let me just share with you today that 2 Corinthians chapter 4 is shining a light on something that we should focus our lives on. And so this morning, as I would kind of leave you with a July-August message, something to be leaning into for this summer season. You can take a lot of selfies, but let's make sure that our focus is on the right places and the right people. And so we see that 2 Corinthians, as we just read it at the top of the message there, that is shining a light on some specific things. And ultimately, we see in verse 6 that it shines a light on the face of Jesus, and that Jesus illuminates and shines bright back at us. And so there's some things that I want to encourage us to focus on today as we look closely at this. Let me look and show you back here at verse 6 of 2 Corinthians 4, and we'll just kind of geek out with you just for a minute here, because this is pretty fascinating. For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, hath shined. And shine in the Greek is the word lampo. And of course, it doesn't take much imagination to think that lampo is probably where we get the word lamp, like lamp, a light. And so we see this lamp to shine in our hearts, to give the light, or the photismo. And where do you see? It doesn't take much of a stretch to see photo. Okay? So even in the first century, even in the Greek language, they're not talking about selfies and they're not talking about cameras, but this is where we get some of our language around lamp, light, photo. But it's interesting that these all lead to the knowledge of the glory, which is doxa, and we sang about that today. Show me your glory. Show me your glory. Show me your doxa. Show me your glory, the radiance, the enlightenment of everything good about who God is. And how do we know how good God is? That he would then shine his face on the face of Jesus. That we see God through the face of Jesus Christ. And so this summer, could we have the lamp shine? Could we take photos? Could we experience the glory of God in the things that we experience? Whether it's church, whether it's a hike, whether it's a boat ride, whatever it is with your vacations and your schedules and your summer stuff, that we would experience the lights and the illumination of Jesus. In fact, illumination is an interesting word because we see this is from photismo, and in the Greek it just says illumination, light, luster, enlightenment, or radiance. And what 2 Corinthians 4 verse 6 is communicating, Paul is saying this, is that the face of Jesus Christ illuminates. It has a luster, it has a radiance about it. And it shows and shares with us who God is. Some people say in conversation, well, I don't really know what God looks like. Well, Jesus is God with skin on. Well, I don't know how he maybe would have acted or what he would have done. Well, we see in history, we see in the Bible that he did miracles and he did amazing things. And we see what Jesus did and how he illuminated everything and everybody around him. Well, this illumination that we're talking about should then ultimately lead to the face of Jesus Christ. That our focus should be on him most importantly. But we're going to make a pivot because here's the challenge. Most of us don't have our focus and our gaze on the face of Jesus Christ. Now, we do sometimes in worship and sometimes when we're reading the scriptures and sometimes when we're in church or maybe moments there in VBS, but oftentimes we're too busy to actually think about Jesus. We get up in the morning and the first thing is not necessarily Jesus, but it's that first cup of coffee, which is not a bad thing. Maybe you need your coffee and Jesus. But then we go to bed at night and we lay our head down and we're thinking about our worries and our traumas and our trials and our hurts and our pains instead of thinking about Jesus. Could this summer, in July and August, we start with Jesus and end with Jesus and have a whole bunch of Jesus in between? Because he does want to illuminate and he wants to light our path. He wants to help us this summer. And the beautiful thing is it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a gal, it doesn't matter if you're young or you're old, the face of Jesus can be illuminated in you. But the challenge is, again, we don't spend enough time focusing on Jesus. We focus ultimately, mostly on ourselves. And here then lies the whole thing and the whole concept of look at me. Look at me taking all these wonderful pictures. Look at me. And we document and we capture all these self-centered, self-focused moments. Now, I'm not going to condemn selfies and call it a sin, but it can lead to be a little bit of self-absorption. It could lead to a little bit too much. And so this summer, let's be careful about where we're pointing the camera. Now, I want to talk to you about something that's it's a bold pivot here, and I'm not calling you this, but I'm just asking you this. Are you a narcissist? Quickly look there at the 7 different descriptions, and if you can see that maybe would identify, like, yeah, I agree. Being overly boastful, exaggerating, pretending to be supporting others, lack of empathy, looking down on others, monopolizing conversation, always craving for the best in everything, has a very fragile self-esteem. You see, I think instead of the focus on the face of Christ, we put the focus on ourselves. And psychologists would call this narcissism. And if you're in the ages between like 8 and 16, it's a season of narcissism that just naturally defaults to that because it's all about me. And we need to grow out of that. As brothers and sisters, as believers of Jesus Christ, we have got to be less self-focused and more Jesus-focused. Now, when it comes to narcissism and it comes to selfies, 36% say selfies are narcissistic and annoying. And when I asked you today how many don't really like selfies, a lot of you said that. Trendy, fun, fad, funny, or confident. But mostly people say they're kind of annoying. They're way too self-centered. So what's the opposite then of narcissism and self-focus? And I would submit this idea to you today that if we're going to be focusing on Jesus, then we need to be, as human beings, a whole lot more humble. That we would operate and we live our lives this summer in a spirit of humility, which is not a word or a character trait that we probably take on very naturally. You got to stretch for these kind of things. You got to that's hard for me to do that because we are from a fallen nature. But with the help of Jesus, who illuminates and lights our steps, we can then be like him and be humble. So this morning, I want to encourage us to be more like Jesus and to turn your cameras around this summer. Now, I'm not saying to stop taking selfies, but what if you took more ussies? What if you took more of other people? What if you took more of your experiences? What if you even got rid of the selfie stick? Some of you who are older that are my age and above, you're like, when did the selfie stick come into play? Like, to have a selfie stick seems very narcissistic, a little bit. Now, no condemnation for those who have a selfie stick. I'm just encouraging you to use your stick in the right way this summer. Now, this morning, let me see if we can just turn the camera around. This morning, most of us have phones. Most of us then have a camera. And with Oregon showing off as well as it does in the month of July and August, I encourage you in your vacations and on your adventures and all the memories you're going to make it less about you and more about what God's created. So to turn the camera around. I did a little bit of research and I found that some people like to take selfies in some interesting places, and deaths associated to selfies, in comparison, 2 people died last year at vending machines, 8 with shark attacks, 12 at a football game, 17 at Mount Everest, 28 at skateboard. 28 people died taking selfies. So it's a dangerous activity. Bee and wasp stings, 58, and then airplane crashes. So there's the gloomy news. But I'm just trying to show you in comparison, like sometimes selfies are dangerous. Grand Canyon, Eiffel Tower, there's particular places that we should just not be taking them. Let's turn the camera around. Our great state has amazing places, and God is really showing off in the mountains and the water and the lakes and the fish and the rivers, all the things that he's created this summer. Let's enjoy it. Some say, well, how do I experience God? How do I experience the face of Jesus? How do I experience what he's done? In the beginning, he created. In the beginning, let there be light, and there was light. Now, what's interesting is that in Genesis, he says that in the beginning, let there be light. But in Corinthians, Paul is kind of doing a little bit of a callback to that. And he's saying, let there be light, and that the light be found in the gospel and the good news and in the face of Jesus Christ. So we see in God's creation, and we see in who Jesus is, that he can light up our world. Now, unless you're just not a nature fan, I mean, that's beautiful. And if that's not beautiful enough for you, what about that? This is our great state. This is Oregon on full display. And I don't need to remind you who made it, but he's got the whole world in his hands. I mean, he's placed in position and done such amazing things in creation. And you, as his creation, are the best of the best. So if you think that's beautiful, I mean, wow. There's beautiful hikes, there's beautiful mountains, there's beautiful experiences that we can take. Stacy and I were down at Gold River, and we did the jet boats up the Rogue River. And it was absolutely gorgeous. It was so pretty. Just enjoying eagles and osprey and seeing the fish and the wildlife. Enjoy God's creation this summer. I want to give you, young people especially, take a break from your phones. Take a break from video games. Take a break from being inside. Get outside and enjoy all of God's creation. This morning, how many like to camp? We got any campers out there? We talked about family camp. That's going to be fun. Whether it's an RV or a tent camp, just get out there and enjoy the beauty of God's creation. Family camp's going to be fun, and we're going to take a lot of pictures. Now, when it comes to pictures, take a look at this. 2.3 billion photos are taken daily. 4% of all photos taken are selfies. So it's a small population, but it's interesting that in Oregon, states that take the most selfies, Oregon's in the top 5. So we have a little bit of an issue compared to our other states. So a lot of selfie people here in the great state of Oregon. Could we turn those phones around? Could we maybe put our focus on others? Could we take pictures of our kids and our grandkids, of not necessarily what we're eating, but what we're experiencing. And that we would enjoy God's creation to turn our cameras around. In addition to this, I want to encourage us to turn the selfie lenses around and to begin to focus on Jesus. Now, this is the application and where I want to kind of finish up today with our time, and then our team will come up here in just a minute. We're going to sing our way out of here. You get your cupcakes, and you'll have an amazing start to this summer because our young people are out of school already. Praise God. But as we turn around the cameras, we can focus on others and we can focus on Christ. I want to encourage us as we're enjoying God's creation that we don't forget the Creator. That in the moments where we're enjoying all that He's done on our vacations, don't leave Him out. Enjoy Jesus. Let Him illuminate your vacation. Let Him show you in creation while you're fishing by the pond, or you got your feet in the river, or you're enjoying watermelon, or you're looking at a sunset. That He has made that. He is illuminating and has given a gift to you to be able to enjoy that. So this morning, I want to encourage us that we would, here's my application to my point, practice the way. Practice the way. And here's practicing the way. That we would be with Jesus, become like Him, and do as He did. Now this is simple in its presentation, but it's going to take a lifetime to continue to work it out. That this summer, July and August in particular, we're going to be putting a focus on practicing the way. And when I say the way, I'm referring to being with Jesus, not being without Jesus. So as John says in the Gospel in 15, abide with Him, be with Him. It's when we are with Him that then we become like Him. And all of us, I think, would say, I need to be more like Him. That's where the humility comes. Less narcissism and more humility will come. As we are being with Him and becoming like Him, then we will then do as He did. And how many could say, I could do a little bit more like Jesus and a little less like me? More like Him. What's interesting about this is I see the be with Jesus and become like Him and do as He did, is it's very in line with our purpose statement here at Gateway. To be with Jesus is to know Him personally. To become like Him is to grow with Him purposely. To do as He did is to go passionately. So I guess what I'm just encouraging us to do, Gateway, is to practice the way. To know, to grow, and to go. And to not put your faith on vacation this summer. I'm saying this a little bit to myself because I'm about to go on vacation myself. Stacy and I are going to be traveling to Santa Barbara to see my niece get married. And we're going to be on the way to a beautiful place. And I could just see how quickly I could miss him on my way to go to the destination. I got to get there, and I'm going to experience this. But I'm kind of preaching to myself today to just remember to be with Jesus along the way. Become like Him in the adventures. Do as He did when you're there. How many know that you can experience Jesus outside of church? Like tomorrow in the Word, like Tuesday in prayer, like Wednesday with worship, like Thursday at the beach, like whatever, wherever, that we would practice the way. Now, for a lot of us, this could require some great improvement. And to help with that, and to get where I got this concept, is from an author named John Mark Comer. And he writes this book called Practicing the Way. And this summer, I want to encourage you, if you are looking for a summer read that's simple, it's fresh, it's straightforward, and it's a pretty easy read, but it's an impactful read, get this book. In fact, instead of ordering it on Amazon right now while you're sitting there, we have copies of this book in the cafe. And if you'll make a donation towards this book, all those proceeds will go towards our campers going to summer camp this year. So read. Get in something that's going to help you grow this summer. Now, I know students, you're thinking, well, man, I'm off. I don't do English. I'm not doing literature. And there's no math. There's no studies. There's no homework. Well, this would be for self-improvement. This would be to help you grow to become more like Jesus, to be with Jesus. So anyways, there's a little tip or a book for you that you can read today. Well, as we begin to wrap it up, I want to invite the team to come up this morning. Scripture says that God's word is a lamp unto our feet, a light unto our path. That's what the word is. And in John it says that Jesus is the word. He is the light. And as He would illuminate our path and illuminate our way, I want to believe that the Gateway community and all the things that we're going to be doing, like next week, we return to one service, so 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, we'll all collide together, we'll all be in one service together. It'll be packed and full, and you'll have to make room for each other, but we'll be nice to each other, and we'll encourage each other, and we'll take ussies, together, but that we'll enjoy this summer, July and August, with Jesus lighting our path. And there's a little holiday coming up this week. Anybody have any plans? 4th of July is coming up, and it's an opportunity to, yes, enjoy the sparklers and the fireworks, but enjoy family, enjoy friends, enjoy food, enjoy all that God has provided and done for us. I guess, friends, what I'm trying to say is we got a great God, and He gave us His great Son, who wants to illuminate and light our paths. So keep taking pictures, but take pictures of others and put your focus and your gaze on Jesus this summer. It sounds so simple, but I actually encourage you and challenge you to try it. And for all you that are parents and grandparents, guess who's watching? Your kids are watching your focus. Your kids are seeing what you're looking at, what you're putting your money, your time, your values in. So when you're on the boat, give God thanks that you have a boat. But thank Him for the water that you're rowing in or boating in. Thank Him for the fish that you catch. Thank Him for the sunsets and the sunrises. Thank God for His amazing beauty in creation. I thank God for the amazing beauty of you. Will you stand to your feet this morning? Father, thanks for being an amazing, amazing creator. We love you and we know that we are made and created in your image, and we thank you for that. Would you help us to not be narcissistic, but to be humble, to be pliable, and to be tender, and to be ready, that we would be able to see how great you are. Show us your glory. Thank you for this morning. Thank you for my friends that are here today. In fact, friends, our prayer team is going to be available at the Yes Wall, and if you'd like to start a journey with Jesus, you'd like to invite Him into your heart, invite Him into your life, we'd like to pray with you and stand with you, to journey together with you. Get a Bible in your hands. So thank you for being here today. We're going to sing our way out of here to the cupcakes and the cafe, and then on to God's great creation. So enjoy Jesus, because He's enjoying you.